I'm ready. What up? Let's get to it. So we're gonna talk about three things today. First up will be JJ McCarthy. And the big question is, are the Minnesota Vikings following the blueprint from the Michigan Wolverines, the team that won the national championship with McCarthy, huh? Yeah, that's the big question, bro. Is Quasi and Kevin O'Connell building the same kind of team and personnel around JJ McCarthy to take it to the highest level, to the next level, huh? To win the Super Bowl, period, dog? That is the big question. Secondly, Jeff Okudah visits the Viking, another potential splash, huh? Another potential good cornerback acquisition. You know, a player who can still give you some good ball would definitely be a plus for the Vikings defense, secondary, etc. If Quasi could somehow pull it off, oh yeah, he is in for a visit, homie. Believe that. Joe Flacco. Now it seems like the Vikings are turned or have turned their attention to signing Joe Flacco potentially. What would this mean for McCarthy? What would it mean for the Vikings? It would definitely mean it's officially JJ McCarthy's team and time, huh? You hear me heavy, man. But will Joe Flacco be a Viking? It's clear evident. Aaron Rodgers, we can kill that noise. You can throw those rumors and speculations out the window, correct? Yeah, heavy, bro. Heavy, bro. I'm sure it wasn't a high probability anyway. But with that being said, let's get to it. First off, JJ McCarthy. We know for sure it is officially, I repeat, it is officially JJ McCarthy's team and JJ McCarthy's time, huh? Especially with the lack of quarterback moves that the Vikings have made, period, dog. It's clear to see now. They are rocking and rolling with JJ McCarthy. They are rocking and rolling with JJ McCarthy. Now, if something crazy happens, the Vikings make a move, Quasi makes a trade, etc., acquire Aaron Rodgers or something crazy, unexpected, then all right, boom, you making second guess or have some more questions. But as of right now, the Vikings are McCarthy's team. KOC is expecting JJ McCarthy to be ready this upcoming season. No cap, bro. And with the acquisition of the lineman, Ryan Kelly, Will Fries, the defensive side of the ball, period, bro. Yeah, the defensive side of the ball, interior trenches, homie. You got to ask the question, are they trying to take the blueprint from that Michigan team? Are they trying to put the best personnel around JJ McCarthy as possible, huh? Just starting with the trenches on the O-line side of the ball. Huh? Now, let's say JJ McCarthy stayed healthy during preseason, didn't get injured, was the starter. Do you think he was in the best position to be successful? I don't think he would have been. I mean, we saw it with Sam Darnold. You can ball out for how long? Do you think JJ McCarthy would have struggled the same way Sam Darnold did in the playoffs? The last 2 weeks of the season against two of the best teams in the NFL with that line, with that piss poor line. We saw Patrick Mahomes' biggest game of his life, biggest game of the year, biggest game in the world, huh? Everybody watching, huh? You hear me? And he looked horrible. He looked piss poor, homie. Why? He had no protection, looked like he was out there by himself. The Chiefs got banged up, dominated in the trenches where it matters most. So the fact the Vikings have started there, we saw with Michigan. What was Michigan good at? What was their strongest point on both sides of the ball, huh? The trenches, O-line, D-line. McCarthy had great protection. What else did Michigan have, huh? A great, efficient running game, week in, week out. You hear me, dog? Believe that. So I wouldn't be shocked or surprised, and I wouldn't blame the Vikings if they're trying to copy the blueprint. But we know the blueprint for the NFL. Trenches where the games are won, defense still wins championships, etc., etc. We know the scoop. We know the 411, huh? It's no secret anymore. But the same weapons personnel JJ McCarthy had around him, coaching staff, Jim Harbaugh, etc. It seems like the Vikings are building something very similar, homie. Will Fries, new addition, mean, nasty, great run blocker. Great run blocker. You hear me, dog? Solid at pass blocking, too. Big body to move bodies. Ryan Kelly. Solid, bruh, can move bodies. A massive upgrade from Garrett Bradbury. I hear Bradbury's going to the Patriots. Okay, the Patriots are dumb. Watch how horrible, atrocious they are this year, dog. Period, no cap. Or I should say, because they have some weapons. So I should say, look how horrible and atrocious their O-line will be if they add Garrett Bradbury to the mix. I don't care who gets him, homie. Huh? I don't care if the Chiefs get him. Period. He is a bomb. No disrespect. We're stating facts. He's soft. S-O, capital S-O-F-T. Huh? You hear me, bro? Soft. He's been soft. No cap, no way around it. But the protection, building protection, giving JJ McCarthy a run game. Huh? And when he needs to, giving him the weapons, the receivers to maneuver in and out the pocket and make big plays downfield. You hear me, dog? Giving him great weapons to throw the ball to. Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson, Oliver, Naylor, another receiver potentially that they may draft or find in free agency, dog. Naylor still has a lot to prove. Naylor position ain't safe. Trust me, believe me when I say that, huh? Naylor position ain't safe, homie. Period. Too many drop balls, too many mistakes last season, in my opinion, bro. Needs to become a better, more crisp route runner. Work on his hands. We know the scoop. We know what it is. You seen the team play, dog. Let's stop the cap, bro. Cut the crap. You hear me? Straight up. But they're building a team that benefits McCarthy in the long run. Everything he needs, everything he wants. He says he wants a fair chance. Guess what? He is getting that fair chance officially. He will finally get that fair chance. Not the season after next, but next season, homie. Next season, period. So no more excuses, complaining. JJ McCarthy needs to be ready. Mental reps should be there. They say he's looking good, improving every day physically. Rehab going well. Well, guess what? It's time to put up or shut up, McCarthy. It's time to put up or shut up, big dog, period. I stand on that 10 toes down, huh? Yeah, bro. Is McCarthy that guy? Is he elite? Is he the one that the majority think he may be? A lot of questions still. A lot of ifs, ands, buts. Shoulda, couldas, what ifs. All right, bet. At the end of this season, all that noise will be silent. Silence, huh? Period, no cap, bro. But that's the big question. But it seems like the Vikings are taking the blueprint, copycatting Michigan, and I think it's the right thing to do. Copycat their ass. But do it, now you're doing it at the next level, at the highest level, the NFL. The same thing can be reinvented, invented, huh? Right? Period, huh? The same thing can be replicated. Period, bruh. Same trenches, interior, D-line, O-line, weapons, team, etc. Team chemistry, belief, energy, all that. He had Jim Harbaugh as a coach. Now we got Kevin O'Connell as a coach. Kevin O'Connell, as far as QB whisperer, he's probably better than Jim Harbaugh in that aspect. Now, all-around coach, great leader of men, very debatable, huh? But at the end of the day, Kevin O'Connell will I guarantee, he will put JJ McCarthy in the best situation to win. And that's what it's about. That's what it comes down to, huh? Period, homie. That's what it is. But I'm super excited to see how everything pans out, how this offense looks, how this defense looks, and how they perform. Yeah, believe that. Next topic, next subject, Jeff Okudah. Yeah, I said it. Jeff Okudah. I'm going to get into the article in a second. Matter of fact, wait, let's get into it now, baby. But Jeff Okudah, you hear me? Comes for a visit to see the Vikings, visit this facilities, etc., etc. Same thing happened with who? Isaiah Rodgers, Jonathan Allen, and they ended up signing. So that's a great sign. Yeah, some may say, oh, he's just coming to visit. Let's not get carried away. Guess what? Dudes ain't just showing up. Players ain't just showing up, wasting time, plane tickets, all that, just to waste time. huh? If they have no interest in playing for the Vikings. Believe that, baby, huh? Believe that. You hear me? Gotta make that clear. Let's get into it. Vikings move on 37 million, former 30. Let's restart and bring it back. Vikings move on 37 million, former top 5 pick in free agency. Let's get it, bro. Let's make it happen, Quasi. Cook, homie. The Minnesota Vikings have plenty of experience with failed premium draft picks at the cornerback position, but they are leaving the door open for another in Jeff Okudah. Drafted by the Detroit Lions in 2020, Okudah played for 3 teams in his NFL career. Now, he's traveled a lot. You got to ask the question, ask yourself, what's going on? Why don't teams want to keep him? Why does he keep getting shipped around, hopping from team to team? But like I say, change of scenery sometimes is everything. Scheme fit is everything. Player-coach relationships is everything, huh? Player development is everything, period. Discipline, mentality, focused, all that plays a hand, huh? The Vikings still need to bolster their ranks even after re-signing Byron Murphy. Okudah, the number 3 overall pick of his class, spent the 2024 season with the Houston Texans, but also played for the Atlanta Falcons. Cornerback Jeff Okudah has started his free agent visit with the Vikings. The team announced in a post on X on March 17th. And that says a lot as well. That's the team he first visits, That's the organization he chooses to go to first. That's a great sign there. Jeff Okudah has been active since week 4 against Detroit. His stats since then, 107 coverage snaps, 9 targets, 3 receptions allowed for 51 yards, only 51 yards, huh? Good numbers to me there. 0 touchdowns allowed. I repeat, 0 touchdowns allowed. Believe that. 2 passes defended, 53.5 passer rating allowed, quietly balling out since then. That's facts. When he says quietly balling, he is really quietly balling. Oh, the Vikings, get that man. Go get that man there. Go get that man there. No ifs, ands, buts about it. You hear me? Okudah mostly played on special teams with the Texans. And as we know, the Texans had a stacked secondary, loaded secondary, period. He faced 11 targets in coverage, allowing 72.7% completion percentage per Pro Football Reference. He has allowed better than 72% completion in 3 of his 5 seasons, 3 of which were spent with the Lions. His best season came in 2022 with the Lions when he allowed 59.7% of the passes thrown in his coverage to be completed. The Vikings followed a similar process with Jonathan Allen before signing him. Hey, Jeff Okudah to me would be a great signing. Look at his numbers last year. I'm taking that man, period. Still a physical specimen. I'm sure still can be developed more. He can get better. Put him around Brian Flores. We see every player elevates around Brian Flores, dog. Look what he did with Shaq Griffin, Stephon Gilmore, huh? Fabian Moreau. Players people barely know or know at all, don't know at all. And look what Brian Flores does, huh? How he translates them. Look at the way, just the improvements that translate on a football field, dog. Period. You can't knock that. You can't take that for granted. Taken into consideration, Jeff Okudah is a weapon for Flores. Jeff Okudah plagued by injuries and inconsistency amid Vikings' interest. So, can he stay healthy? Can he stay available? Can he be consistent? Okudah has appeared in 44 games, dealing with myriad injuries since he entered the league after a clean bill of health in college. Sometimes it be like that. Players 100% healthy in college get to the NFL injury prone. That's the big question for him. Okudah played in at least 13 games in all 3 seasons at Ohio State, going to bowl games in each. Excuse me. His inability to stay on the field has impacted his effectiveness when he has been. The Texans eyed a bigger role for Okudah when they signed him in March 24, but lapses in coverage led to 77 total defensive snaps. And maybe it just wasn't good chemistry there, man. It just didn't work out. Period, bro. The Texans wanted to use cornerback Jeff Okudah as their slot QB in press man. Unfortunately, he had one of those reps that breaks the coach's trust. Really, though? In press man's cornerbacks are supposed to hold inside leverage no matter what. Okudah instantly gives it up, biting on an outside foot jab. Hey, man, they're gonna make such a big deal of one mistake. I mean, I get it. Certain things as a cornerback you have to do correctly, week in, week out. You have to be consistent. But one mistake, bruh. Come on, bruh. With the Vikings secondary, how the Vikings cornerbacks played at times last year, we're gonna complain and focus and zone in on one mistake, one play. Come on, bruh. Like I say, player development. Like I say, change of scenery. Okudah did start 9 games for the Falcons in 23, though, and he held up for 15 games during that 2022 campaign. He is still the player many draft analysts raved about heading into the 2020 cycle. Head coach and general managers dream prospect with blue chip physical traits, mental makeup, and personal character. He has size, length, and foot quickness to roadblock, press release, and elite closing bursts to close catch windows or eliminate yards after catch. He has room for improvement with his recognition and balance at the top of the route. NFL.com Lance Zierlein wrote pre-draft in 2020. Quarterbacks really target and beat him over the top. He has a rigid adherence to technique, but squeezing coverage even tighter and trusting his traits. Talent and recovery speed make him one of the top shutdown corners in the game. And that talent, those attributes, those traits are still there, dog. Correct, right? Definitely still there. They haven't left. Maybe they need to be cultivated a little more. Maybe he needs to focus a little more, maybe a lot more at the end of the day. Vikings have depth at cornerback. Okudah was on a 1-year, $4.7 million pact with the Texans. He has inked a series of 1-year deals since his 4-year, $33.5 million rookie scale contract with the Lions expired. He has earned $37.9 million in his career. Over the cap projects the Vikings have $32.8 million left to spend. Spot Track projects Okudah's market value at a 2-year, $10 million contract. The Vikings are favored to select a cornerback with their first draft choice in April, according to DK Sportsbook. Any value picks you like here? And everybody's going to have speculations and make rumors about who the Vikings may draft. We know the territory. We know what comes with that. The Vikings signed veterans Ambry Thomas and Isaiah Rodgers in free agency. Former third-round pick Mekhi Blackman returns. The Vikings also have promising youngsters Dwight McGlothern. Can't forget about Nudie, Dwight McGlothern. Excited to see him in his second season. I feel like he will step up. And Reddy Stewart, among others in their secondary. But Okudah's potential, even at 26. Oh, man, he's only 26. Oh, a lot to learn. He has a lot to learn. You hear me, dog? A lot of growth to be made. Could afford him another opportunity, this time with the Vikings. That's it for that article, homie. Yeah. But yeah, no doubt, you take a chance, you take a risk. I didn't know he was only 26. With all those attributes, with all those great physical traits, you have to take a chance on that man. Yeah, you got to put it all on the line with that man right quick, big dog. Believe that. I stand on that 10 toes down. They say they got enough depth, or they have depth at cornerback. You can never have enough depth, especially when it's talented, right? Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and get into this Joe Flacco article real quick, man. Break it down. Will Joe Flacco be a Viking? Yeah, will he be a Viking? Do the Vikings really want him, or is this all speculation? Certain media outlets, beat writers, right? Painting a picture, making a narrative for a like, click, view, Guapino, etc. We shall see, though. Let's get into it. Minnesota Vikings in contact with another veteran QB. Plenty of the Minnesota Vikings heavy lifting in free agency has already been done. They've revamped the offensive line and heavily invested in the defensive trenches too. They also brought back their best DB talent and added more depth in the secondary and at linebacker. Oh, and don't forget about the trade they swung for another extremely talented running back. In other words, this Minnesota Vikings team looks a lot different than the one we saw lose versus the LA Rams in the wild card round of the 2024 NFL playoffs. One glaring omission, however, remains in the QB room after Sam Darnold got the bag, kind of, in Seattle. Kevin O'Connell and his group of QB whisperers turned their focus to Daniel Jones' back. Well, Jones is out of there. But after a few months inside the Vikings organization, the former number 6 overall draft pick didn't like his QB competition chances versus JJ McCarthy this summer. So he basically ran from the smoke, ran from that JJ McCarthy smoke. You hear me? So he bailed for an easier opportunity to win the starting job in Indianapolis versus Anthony Richardson. And who says that will be easy, huh? Obviously, the Minnesota Vikings' current QB conversation is being dominated by all the Aaron Rodgers chatter swirling lately, chatter that continued through the weekend. But as expected, KOC and the Vikings front office continue to prepare for life with multiple veteran quarterbacks, including players not nicknamed A-Raj. Joe Flacco to the Minnesota Vikings? We shall see, you hear me? We know one thing for sure. Brett Rippon is not going to be QB2 in Minnesota next season. Beyond that, and the Rodgers rumors, reports on which veteran quarterbacks the Vikings value most out of those remaining have been mostly non-existent. That was until today, when respected NFL insider Albert Breer, Sports Illustrated, reported in his Monday morning quarterback column that the Minnesota Vikings have been in contact with the other 40-year-old Super Bowl winner still on the market, Joe Flacco. And Joe Flacco, out of any quarterback, it would make sense, if they can acquire Rodgers, if they don't want him for reasons well known. But Joe Flacco would make sense to me. A Super Bowl winning quarterback with experience gives you a good QB number 2. Joe Flacco is a great backup quarterback thus far in his career. He can help mold and develop JJ McCarthy, really teach him the game, show him some tricks and trades of the game, teach him certain little secrets. So I think it's a win-win if the Vikings sign Flacco. Period, bro. Joe Flacco visited the Giants last week, which was a way, I think, for the team to check him out and for Flacco to get his name back in circulation. Yes, he's 40, but as a one-year solution at a way cheaper rate than Cousins or Rodgers, I think the guy can still play, and the Browns, Steelers, and Vikings think enough of him to still have checked on him. Excuse me. Definitely going to check on him for a reason, huh? Definitely check on him for a reason. After 3 years with the New York Jets, in which Joe Flacco operated as a backup mentor for yet another Jets first-round bust, the Super Bowl MVP looked like he'd be forced into retirement. Then Deshaun Watson went down in Cleveland, and Flacco was pulled off the couch by former Vikings offensive coordinator Kevin Stefanski. The 17-year NFL vet responded by leading the Browns to 11 wins and a playoff appearance. Joe Flacco's surprise emergency performance that season earned him 2023 Comeback Player of the Year. After 1,600 passing yards, 13 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions in 5 games to finish the season. So right there, that shows you Joe Flacco still has it. He still can be successful if you have to lean on him. If the Vikings were to sign Flacco, it shouldn't cost much. He made just $5 million in Indianapolis last season. That's half of what Darnold signed for as the Vikings bridge option in 24. Flacco brings 196 games of NFL experience to the table, along with 4,166 career completions for 54,697 yards, 257 touchdowns, and 162 interceptions. That's a lot of QB wisdom for a curious young JJ McCarthy to soak in. No cap, big facts. There isn't a lot of backup QB talent remaining on the market, especially if Kevin O'Connell is in search for a safer investment than someone like Jameis Winston or Gardner Minshew, which he clearly is. Signing Flacco would solidify Minnesota Vikings QB plan. And it is what it is. I mean, would it be a great signing? I mean, for McCarthy, it would be. And you got a solid backup. Short of signing Aaron Rodgers, virtually any veteran QB addition at this point in free agency will submit Minnesota's plans to move forward with J.J. McCarthy, like I said earlier, as their starter. This is the plan Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah has been building towards since taking over the front office in 2022. McCarthy has been a winner in every single stop he has made. True winner, homie, true winner. He left Michigan with 40 starts and a national championship under his belt. His 72.3% completion rate as a junior led the Big Ten. He brings virtually everything Kevin O'Connell could want to the table. Period, bro. This will be the second year of McCarthy's rookie contract. He effectively can be kept in a cost-controlled manner for 3 years after this one. If the Vikings want to continue utilizing ample amounts of cap space to build around him, this is the way. Facts, bro, and there it is. That is the way. That's the benefits of having a quarterback on a rookie contract, what every team shoots for, the goal for every team. You find that rookie quarterback and you build around him. Yeah, you build around him. Point blank, period, man. NFL is a business. You can't forget the business aspect of it. Oh, yeah, and trust me, if J.J. McCarthy is that dude, if he's that guy, he will get paid. He will get that guapino and that big contract. You hear me, homie? That's inevitable, right? Yeah, inevitable. If he's the man, if he's the one, you got to pay him one day. Yeah, you got to give him that big bag one day. Believe that. You hear me? But that's it, dog. Will Joe Flacco be a Viking? I think it'll be a good signing. You know, a real good signing as far as having a solid number 2 quarterback you can count on with experience and wisdom. And that's the video, man. Fire them comments up. Feedback is much appreciated. Let me know how you feel about the video. Do you agree or disagree? Let's go, man. Skol Vikes. Huh? Big Skol here. Skol Vikes win, lose, or draw forever. Yeah.